Okay. I don't like cricket.
Oh no!
I love it.
Hello and welcome to Blah de Blah. We are live from Grace Road. I'm Tom Feeney.
I'm Dale Harris.
And I'm Jack Elliott.
Welcome to Blah.
Blah.
And Dale, just why are we at Grace Road today?
We're here today to interview former Leicestershire and England cricketer Paul Nixon.
So Nico, we're going to have his thoughts right now. Okay then. So Nico, what is life like after you retired from cricket?
Life's been very busy. I've been helping out Leicestershire in my ambassadorial role, meeting new potential sponsors and new clients and customers and new members. A little bit of coaching here and there as well around the country, doing some wicketkeeping clinics and some master classes, which has been good fun. And also helping the Professional Cricket Association as an ambassador with those guys. We've been playing a lot of games. And again, helping Team England's corporate sponsors. So it's been great. I've been doing a lot of various things, from sailing with the sponsors to doing a lot of business breakfasts and one thing or another. So it's been very varied, but all good fun.
So you enjoyed a successful cricketing career, especially at Leicestershire. How did it feel to win the 3 2020s, and which one stands out for you?
We definitely punched above our weight with 2020. Nobody really believed in us, even after we've had 5 finals in 7 years. Nobody really believed in us, and we were the underdogs, which was wonderful for us. So it worked well. I think for me, the last one, on a purely selfish point of view, because it was my last game, and it was to go out on a high, to take a good catch, and to go out on a high is everybody's ambition. There's so many fine players over the years have actually gone out on a bad note. I look at the likes of Andrew Strauss, had more to give. The people like Matt Ramprakash, who was a legend of the game, who never had the send-off and the adulation from his supporters that those guys deserved. So to go out on a high, 2020 finals day as a winner, fantastic.
What are your thoughts on the corruption scandal of this year's World 2020?
Yeah, corruption's something it's in the game. It's something that players have known. It's been in the game for a long time, but it's something that it's tough because people have to be proved and proven to be corrupt, which is very different. Until the powers that be give the police and give people the anti-corruption officers police power, then it's going to be very, very difficult to eradicate out of the game. It's a cancer in our game. I was approached a few years ago, got offered monopoly money, got offered £5 million to throw a game. That money wouldn't just go to me. It would have to be amongst the players playing that game, because everybody has to perform badly in that game. So you're guaranteed to lose. So it's something that people watch the game now very differently. And it's something that we have to be aware of, and top level of English sport and cricket especially, but not just cricket. Cricket's our industry, but other sports we see a lot of things in cycling at the moment which aren't good. Umpires have been talked about overseas, so it's something that's there, and we have to make sure as a collective unit people are pointed in the right direction if people know anything about it.
Now, just talking about England, what are your thoughts regarding the latest Kevin Peterson controversy?
It's dragged on too much. It's dragged on too long. Something that could have been ideally done behind closed doors. Every team has its issues. Every club has its issues. Good sides deal with it quickly and move on. Obviously, Kevin made 1 or 2 mistakes. It's cost him dearly. He loves playing cricket for England and wants to play cricket for England, but some things are non-negotiable, and you can't step over the line. He stepped over the line. He's been lucky to get let back in, and I know how Kevin works, and I'm sure now he'll be desperate to prove everybody wrong, and is the best player in that side. We've struggled without him. We've underperformed without him, no question. So it's time now that it's all put to bed. Kevin has an honest chat. He gains the respect again of everybody and earns that respect. So, you go and watch him back now. The Indian public love him to bits because of his time out in IPL. So I'm backing Kevin Peterson to get some big runs in the series.
You just mentioned England there. How did it feel after all those years, breaking into the team in 2007 and then representing them at the World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, a dream come true. I thought I was going to get close in 1994. I played a game against Warwickshire from the England A. I'd come back from an India tour, played nicely, played 2 out of the 3 test matches in India against Rahul Dravid and Ganguly, and did well. And I came back, and it was the England A versus the champions of the previous summer, which were Warwickshire, and I was on 51 not out. Stephen Rhodes hadn't kept so well in Australia and not got many runs, so I thought there could be an opening for the first test, which there probably was. And Alan Donald snapped my left thumb and broke it badly, and I was out for a few months, and I thought that was going to be my chance. I was then Alex Stewart's number 2 for a few tours, and then to get the nod finally at 36 was a dream come true. I mean, I had a wise head at 36 because I played a lot, but my body was still fresh, I was still fit and strong, and you know, my game was in a good place. I just averaged close to 50 for Leicestershire, and it was the right time to pick me because I was in good form and still in good shape. So, you know, I'd like to thank Duncan Fletcher and Michael Vaughan for backing me and giving me that opportunity. But you know, to walk out at Sydney in a full house with the Barmy Army going crazy, and Melbourne in front of close to 90,000 is a dream come true, and you know, I cherished every minute.
What do you make of the current crop of young wicketkeepers which are coming through, like Johnny Bairstow and Dan Hodgson?
Yeah, the nice thing is we've always had a lot of good young keepers. You know, when I was sort of in that England setup or around that setup being talked about, you know, James Foster was coming through, Chris Reed coming through. There's always, and I always remember Alan Knott down here working with Alan Knott many years ago. Alan said, Nico, whenever you're playing or in and around that team, the press have always got to talk about somebody because it's their job to talk about people. Possession's 9/10 of the law. Matt and Craig are in current, you know, in a great strong position at the moment. They're doing really well. I feel a bit for James Foster because I felt he just got picked a little bit early before he was ready, and then it's cost him dearly because he had to work extra hard to try and get back in that side. He averages 40, I'm sure he averages 40 or close to 40 with the bat, and the best keeper in the world. Chris Reed didn't do a great deal wrong playing for England, and now his batting's come to the forefront even more so, and he's probably averages over 35 now in first class cricket. So, or 35 around that area, I'm sure. So, you know, those guys, I feel for those two. Johnny Bairstow has got a lot to do on his keeping, but we've seen how much of a quick learner he is, the way he batted and how well he played. So for me, he's got to go. Both Johnny and even Butler, Josh Butler, those guys, they've got to want to keep wicket and work hard because it's a hard place to be. It's a hard job. It's physically demanding. You know, it's close to 600 squats a day. You know, it's tough, mentally tough and physically tough. And you're in the spotlight every ball, and you know it certainly tires you out for your batting at times. Johnny's a gun fielder, brilliant fielder, and a guy who, you know, gives energy to the side. But they've got to want to do that job. We've got some great keepers coming through. That's brilliant. But they've got to want it and got to want to be the number one job because there's only one job in the country.
What are your thoughts regarding the recent addition of Niall O'Brien to the Leicestershire ranks?
Yeah, Niall's a great friend of mine and was a colleague of mine in the ICL out in India just before the IPL started. Very, very competitive guy. He can open the batting in one-day cricket. He can open the batting in four-day cricket. He's a guy that he wants to play for England. He's played for Ireland. He's had a touch of international cricket. Well, he's had quite a bit now over the years. International cricket. Played in World Cups. So he's an experienced player. And over the years, you know, the likes of Stuart Broad have left, James Taylor's left, H.D. Ackerman, who scored heavy runs here. So it's nice to have a senior player back. I've left. So it's nice to have a senior player back. Andrew McDonald we've missed. So, you know, to have that wise head, that senior player, help mentor the youngsters. We've got a big mentoring system here at Leicester. And it's worked well. And, you know, a really competitive keeper. He's energised, he's behind the stumps. He's a wonderful signing. Wonderful signing.
You touched on the youngsters at Leicestershire. What do you make of the youngsters coming through, like Shiv Thakur?
Yeah, Shiv for me is going to be the cream of the crop at the moment. Josh Cobb started really well. It's just, if he was honest, just dipped down a little bit over the last couple of years. Shiv, I've seen him turn from a boy to a man. He's now as fit as anybody on our staff. And it's tougher for the Asian environment in the Asian world because, you know, their home foods aren't generally elite foods for top